Hi there. It's July the 5th. I hope everyone had safe adventures yesterday. Today we're doing Proverbs 5, and we're going to talk about avoiding seduction. Now, I've learned a lot more than I knew about Solomon through the Bible in a Year series. We read about his whole life. And Solomon had a weakness, okay? His weakness was women. By the end of his life, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Okay? And if anybody, you've been married any length of time, you know you can't keep 700 women happy and satisfied and secure. That can't be done. Okay? Can't be done. Okay? And I don't know when they went from one man, one woman up to multiple hundreds and hundreds of wives. Maybe only the kings did it. But it's crazy. Okay, it's crazy. 700. His father, David, had many wives as well. And concubines. We need a concubine if you get bored with your wife. And how would that make her feel? Okay? So I think he talks a lot about from his own experiences, because at the end of Solomon's life, he was no longer following God and all of God's laws. He was giving in to his wives and building temples to their gods, because he had many wives imported from all over the world, and he was building temples to their gods and their customs that they would bring with them just to try and keep them happy. And it didn't end well for him, okay? But let's get into it. This is Solomon talking about what not to do. Is it don't do what I did? I don't know. But we'll read it. It's good advice, okay? My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen closely to my understanding, so that you may maintain discretion and your lips safeguard knowledge. Though the lips of the forbidden woman drip honey, and her words are smoother than oil, in the end she's as bitter as wormwood, and as sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps head straight for Sheol. She doesn't consider the path of life. She doesn't know that her ways are unstable. So now, my sons, listen to me, and don't turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her. Don't go near the door of her house. Otherwise you will give up your vitality to others and your years to someone cruel. Strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. At the end of your life, you will lament when your physical body has been consumed, and you will say, "How I hated discipline, and how my heart despised correction. I didn't obey my teachers or listen closely to my mentors. I am on the verge of complete ruin before the entire community." So, is he talking about himself? Because he did these things. Okay? And here's a wise advice that he should have taken, right? Drink water from your own cistern and flowing water from your own well. Should your springs, not a lot of direct translations say seed, means your seed, flow in the streets, streams of water in the public squares, they should be for you alone and not for you to share with strangers. Now that says seed. It's a metaphor, right? Drink water from your own well. Let your fountain be blessed, and take pleasure in the wife of your youth. Okay? Now, he should have stayed with his original wife, right? Because he's saying right here, a loving doe, a graceful fawn, let her breasts always satisfy you. Be lost in her love forever. Right? One wife, your original wife. He's saying that. Okay? Now, things happen, and that's not always possible, but It's just still, you know, in the book of Timothy, when they were talking about deacons and stuff and what they needed to be a deacon, it says a man of but one wife. And it didn't mean, if you were ever divorced, you couldn't be a deacon. It meant one wife at a time. Okay, you can only have one wife, not 700 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 12. Right? Because somebody's going to be unhappy. Okay? Why, my son, would you be infatuated with a forbidden woman, or embrace the breast of a stranger? For a man's ways are before the Lord's eyes, and he considers all his paths. A wicked man's iniquities entrap him. He is entangled in the ropes of his own sin. He will die because there is no discipline, and be lost because of his great stupidity. Solomon speaking. So, there you have it. That's one subject, okay? All of 5 is about one subject. Didn't even highlight a lot because it's one subject, A few, rhetorical questions. Should your springs flow in the streets, streams of water in the public squares? Stay away from foreign women. Did Solomon stay away from foreign women? No, he didn't. Okay, and it got him in trouble. So, and even though Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived, okay, he still had a weakness for women, okay? And it's partly because he was so wise. I mean, kings and dignitaries and rulers would come to him from all over the world just to sit with him for an hour and listen to him speak his wisdom. And they would bring him gifts. He was getting an average of 25 tons of gold every month. And that's just the gold. And there was also silver, and there was spices, and there was, rare lumber and materials and food and cattle and sheep. Every month, just for his wisdom. But I guess he had a weakness. And he's trying to impart that on us, and it's good advice, okay, from somebody who knows. So, that's Proverbs 5. A single subject. Enjoy the wife you have, or the husband you have, okay? Don't go searching for something that's missing, Fill in that missing piece yourself. Find a way to do it. You can usually find it in the Bible, okay? Maybe what's missing is that third person, God, which makes the triangle complete. God at the top, man and wife. And the closer you both seek God, the closer you'll come together. Makes a lot of sense, huh? So, there you have it. Stay tuned later today. We're still doing Through the Bible in a Year. We are on day 187. We're at 2 Kings and Chronicles, and going through all the many dozens and dozens of kings they had and all the stupid things they did. But God always took them back. That's what amazes me about the Old Testament. They continued to sin and go away from God and worship idols and Baal, and even to sacrificing their own children and stuff. But whenever they turned to God, he would always take them back. So, that's an amount of grace you can't even believe. Okay. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 5. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. If you're off today, just relax and meditate on God. So, until later, we'll do it again. See ya.